guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. My name is Rebecca, and if you're new here, I post all sorts of content, but lately I have been posting mostly budgeting content, and that is my plan for 2025 as well, because one of my biggest focuses for 2025 is my budget and just getting a better handle on my expenses and budget and everything. So in today's video, I am going to go ahead and set up the new Budget by Paycheck by the Budget Mom small workbook. So she does offer this in the full size still, but this size is closer to like an Erin Condren, which I was really excited about. Not that I carry this around with me anywhere, but I just felt like the large or the full size was really, really big when I had it in the past. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to set all this up. We're going to talk through some stuff. I did get some stickers, which if you watched one of my prior videos, I think in November, I mentioned that I did not intend to buy any stickers because I feel like it's just another thing to buy, but I was looking at the planner, and when I was looking at this, I felt like it was just so plain, and there were some good deals going on Etsy, and I had the money for it. Like, I have a separate shopping fund is what I like to call it, which is basically just like a catch-all fund. So if there's something that I see I want, I have to make the decision, do I want to take this from that fund or do I not want to get it? So I did decide to get it, and I actually ordered 7 months because number one, to get free shipping, but there was a really good sale happening. This shop is Van Lily's stickers. I actually saw someone else in a video use these, and I just really liked the way they looked. So I will go ahead and link her shop below. I'm not affiliated in any way. I purchased these. She was really, really nice. I did have to message her at one point, and she was really fast to respond and just really nice. So I also think, so this is just a like singular pack. I forget exactly what she calls it. I'll try to throw it up on the screen. I want to say it's like a monthly pack, and it comes with so much for a monthly pack. So you have all of the date stickers, the washi headers, the days of the week headers, all of these like bill stickers, but you also get a whole other sheet of bill stickers. You get the month script, which in some of her kits, she does actually give you more than 1 month. Like, for example, this kit, she gives you both March and April, so you can actually use this, in different, you don't have to use it in any specific month if you have your own monthly headers. But I thought that was really nice that she does give you kind of like 2 different months that you could use it. I think the reason behind this one only having January is that this is very clearly like a New Year's theme. But anyway, then you get these. So again, more bill stickers, a bunch of no spend stickers, some cute little icons like money signs, grocery bag, little scissors for like a haircut, thin washi, these for like the notes side. You get these cute little icons. So there's like takeout and little coffee cups, more no spend, and then I think these are like little, I don't know if this, oh no, it does come with everyone. And it's little like party hats, which I think is perfect for marking birthdays. So overall, I feel like you get a lot in this. I think for all 7, I spent under $40, I'm pretty sure. It was somewhere in the 40 range, which I felt like was pretty reasonable for all that you get. I'm probably not even going to use all of these each month, so I'll just save whatever I don't. But that was my justification for buying these. I just really felt like I wanted something to like spice up this page. I did not feel the need to buy stickers for any of this. I feel like this looks busy enough. I don't need stickers for that. The only other thing I would I'm not going to, but I could see people considering is the monthly meal plan. I don't think I need any stickers for this. I actually have number stickers, and the Budget Mom does give you some in here. So we'll see what I decide to do with that, because I do think I am going to try to use this as part of my budgeting process. So more background, I did do a whole like unboxing video and flip through of this, which I will go ahead and link as well, where I did talk about like my history with budgeting, budget planners, and things like that. I basically, long story short, I have used her system before. I did not stick to it like at all, And now here I am trying to actually stick to it this time. I did like a trial run of tracking my expenses in November, and it was actually pretty eye-opening to pay attention to the categories where money was going. So that's another reason that I want to do this. I'm in a decent place budget-wise now. Like, I'm not in any debt other than my car loan. I am, slowly working towards some savings goals, but I just feel like my variable spending especially could be better, which is what I want to take you along the journey of, is tracking my expenses. I'm not going to share my full budget here, but my plan is to go through every month and do the or every week, I should say. I want to do it on a weekly basis. Go through my expense tracking, and then at the end of the month doing like a full look at what I spent in each category and kind of seeing how that trends over the months. So I really, really want to stick to it this year, and I'm really hoping that I do. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right in, I suppose. So I did go ahead and just put some stickers for like my this belongs to, and then I'm not going to share my why pages. I feel like that is personal, so I'm just going to leave that. Then we have the goal worksheet. This is something that I am very excited about, just looking at, long-term, short-term goals. So I know the biggest goal for 2025, and sorry, I do have to write like fully at an angle, is to finish saving up towards our roof replacement. I know that it's coming. We don't know exactly when. I'm hoping we get a few more years out of it before we have to do a replacement, but we are, targeting this and making sure that we do have the money by the end of this year. That way we're ready whenever the time does come. So I'm going to put I'll call it roof replacement. And I'm thinking I will keep the exact numbers to myself. I will fill that in afterwards. Maybe at some point I'll feel comfortable sharing it. I don't know why. I just kind of feel like certain things are just personal and I don't really want to share, exactly what my numbers are. It doesn't really help you anyway, and I can let you know if I am like on track or not, through my updates. So the next will also be maxing my IRA. I'm thinking max. I guess I'll just put max IRA. Since that is public to everyone, I'm just going to put it here. It is 7,000. And then I'm just going to say end of 2025, because I'm doing it over the course of the whole year. So every single month I will be contributing to that. Then another short-term goal is travel. I am putting this in these short-term goals, and I did go back and forth thinking about it. Like, is this more of a sinking fund or is it a short-term goal? I mean, I feel like sinking funds are kind of like short-term goals, and I know that there is set travel that we are doing this year. I kind of have a rough idea of what those things are going to cost. I have goals in mind for my savings for that, because travel is like one of my most important things. Like, we do not really do things, every weekend. Like, we don't go out, we don't go to bars, we don't do any of that. Like, traveling is our hobby, and that's the thing that we would rather save our money towards. So if that means, a month of not going out, like if that means doing a trip, then that's what we're going to do. So that is why I do consider this a short-term goal, because I know that there is, X amount of travel plans this year and the cost associated. So I feel like that should go there. Then another one I wasn't really sure on, but I think it does make sense to put in here because this is just general financial goals, is I want to pay an additional $1,200 to my car loan. So that means an extra $1,200 for the year on top of my monthly payments. It seems like $1,200 is not really a lot. It does feel like it's a drop in the bucket, but based on the interest accrual, I am trying to throw as much as I can at principal as possible. Now, I'm sure I could, make some more sacrifices to pay it off even sooner. I don't really feel the need to do that, honestly. I feel like it's at an okay place. The interest rate isn't great, but it's not the worst either. So I just have other things that I'm working towards as well. And I kind of do believe in balancing extreme financial like hustle and living life as well. So long-winded to say, my goal is to put a minimum of $1,200 extra. Now, if I do have extra money, maybe I didn't spend as much in my variable expenses and I could throw another 50, like I'm not opposed to doing that. But because also too, like this year is kind of tight because of the roof fund needing to be filled. So hopefully, next year that's going to open up a lot more like budget to actually throw at things. So probably I would say next year is going to be like really hustling to add more to the car loan. But anyway, that was a really long way to say. I guess, let's see, pay additional 1,200 to car loan. I was going to write principal, but I'll just put to car loan. And then again, let's go ahead and put 1,200 here. And then also that's through the end of 2025. Now, I'd like to do like a mock budget, like in an Excel sheet. I actually do utilize Excel or Google Sheets, I should say, to do my budget every month. I just don't track things that well, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this, just to have that like pen to paper tracking. But I've already, like in my mock 2025 budget, I've already budgeted in $100 a month to do this. So it's like, it's happening and it's happening. So then, okay, so that is pretty much, okay, I'm going to put another one. And I feel like this one's kind of like, could be moved around if other things come up. So I'm going to say save an additional 1 month of living expenses. So I do work in an industry that is very volatile, I would say. If you work in a corporate setting, you understand layoffs are rampant. They happen all the time. So I find it very important that I have, several months of living expenses saved up, because it can take a very long time to find a job, especially if you are being somewhat picky. And I feel like if you work hard, you have the right to be. So I currently have 2 months of my living expenses saved up, but I do want to, eventually I'd like to have 6 months, like, because that to me would be like, okay, 6 months to find a job, that should be doable. So, and I'm also saving based on like not changing my lifestyle at all, which of course, if you were really in like a layoff situation, you would cut back on things, like maybe I wouldn't have my expensive gym membership or, things like that. But I'm trying to just save for my current lifestyle, 6 months total. But by the end of this year, I want to have an additional 1 month. So that would put me at 3 months of living expenses saved. So I'm also going to put end of 2025. I'm not going to put the amount on camera. Then I'm going to say within 5 years, one of my goals is to have the 6 months of living expenses. So, save 6 months of I'm not going to put like the target date or cost right now. I think I will put like the total cost of what that would be, but I don't really have a target date in mind. This, especially once I have the 3 months, again, I feel like that's pretty good. Like you could find something to supplement income within 3 months, I'm sure. Well, even if it's not exactly what you want to be doing, but I'm just going to put that here. Then I would also probably say one of my medium-term goals is like a child fund. I know that is something that we do intend to do within the next few years, and I would like to have about 5,000 saved for that, like before having a child. And the reason for that is I just want to have a cushion of like, okay, we have money set aside for medical expenses. We have money set aside for like a year worth of formula. Like I just want to have a fund to kind of like boost us and get us started with, you know, that when the time comes. Again, I'm not putting a target date here. I probably won't start saving for this until maybe even 2026, honestly. Okay, sorry, my ring light died, so I just switched to flash because I really don't want to have to stop this. So, sorry if the lighting is not as good. I think it looks okay. What I was saying is I probably won't start saving for this until like 2026, maybe. Like I said, we don't have like an exact time frame in mind, but it is something that I am thinking about because I know that it is something that will be in our realities in the next few years. And then long term, I would just say, I don't want to say like, I feel like it's very broad, but I just want to save more towards retirement. And I know, again, that's very, very broad, but that is one of my other larger goals. And I know I'm behind for my age. And even this year, my goal for this year was to hit like 10% of my income being saved. But that's not, they usually say, I think like 15%. And honestly, I want to retire earlier than 65. So I'm definitely behind. I didn't make the best decisions in my earlier 20s. Really up until like this last year of life, I really wasn't the best with finances. I have saved, a little bit for retirement over the years. Not in like the worst spot, but definitely not at all where I need to be, especially for retiring early. So I know this is very broad, like save more towards retirement. At some point, I probably would like to be at like 20% of my income going to retirement or just like general investing. But for now, I am, at least want to max out my IRA for this year. That is a really good option if you are employed because the money goes in post-tax. So I'm pretty sure when you take it out, there's no tax. Maybe there's tax on the gains. I'm not 100% sure. I think if you wait till retirement, it's just no tax because you put pre-tax or you put post-tax dollars in. Anyway, I'm just putting save towards retirement. That's the main thing. My goal is to retire around 55. So obviously that's 10 years sooner than like the traditional retirement year. But obviously if it comes down to it and I have to work longer to maintain a better quality of life, I will. But I mainly just want to get to a point like by 55 where I can do things I want to do or maybe just have a less stressful job, like not be fighting the corporate ladder and dealing with all of that, like maybe just do something that's more fun. I don't know. Ideally fully retired, but you might get bored. So that is it for the goal worksheet for the time being. Like I said, I will come back in and fill my actual numbers in off camera. Then I don't really have a lot of memberships and subscriptions, but there are 3 that I do have, one of which I actually don't pay out of pocket for because I have a gift card and I just let it come out of that. But first is Spotify. And all of these are monthly. I don't do anything on an annual basis, but I will go ahead and add up what the annual cost is. And Spotify kind of gets on my nerves a little bit because they've had a few price increases over the last couple years, but I'm just so like accustomed to it. I don't want to ever give it up. And if I can afford it, this is the one subscription that like I will always, always, always have. So this one is $19.24 per month. And then annually, that is $230.88, which is actually like, it's kind of crazy to see it in annual form, which this is why I do think this page is a good thing to go through even if you pay monthly, because look at how much that does add up. You're like, oh, it's $20 a month, like not that big of a deal, or less than $20 a month. And then when you see the number, like, oh, this is actually $230 a year for music. And, obviously there's podcasts, and I learned recently there are also audiobooks included with premium. I'm not an audiobook person, but they do have a lot on there. Like, even some super popular ones. So if you are an audiobook person and you have Spotify, that's another way to get your value out of it. But for me, I use Spotify like pretty much every single day. I definitely feel like I'm getting more than, $230 worth of music. If you think back to the days of paying for songs, 99 cents, and then it moved to $1.29, or albums around, $12 to $13, I do feel like I'm getting good value out of it. So, like I said, I fully believe that if it's something you can afford and brings value to your life, then, do it. This comes out on the 17th for me. And then I kind of wish I didn't write that one first, because this other one comes out on the 15th. And that is iCloud. And this is the one that I don't actually pay for. I do, but I have a gift card from when I purchased I think it was my iPad. It was the back to school thing, so they gave me a gift card, and I just let it come out of that. I have paid for it out of pocket, and I definitely would if, I had to. It's only $2.99 a month. It is for storage, and I definitely find it worth it. Everything that's on my phone, like mostly my photos and stuff, they're very important to me. I want to have those things backed up, and it's worth the $2.99 a month, which ends up being, $35.88. It does suck paying for these types of things sometimes, because obviously, could I try to use like external hard drive backups? And I do have things like that, which I do back things up to just to have a physical form, but those things fail as well. Hard drives die, they get lost, they get broken, like things happen. So I do like having the peace of mind of everything being in the cloud. And the other benefit is, if God forbid my phone were to get stolen or just damaged beyond repair, you can get all that stuff from the cloud. So again, I just think it's worth it. If there was ever a time where I couldn't afford that, obviously I would figure out something else. I would just, move things to an external drive and keep doing regular backups until I could afford it again. Then the next one is Crunchyroll. This is an anime subscription. It's not for me. My husband loves anime, so this is something that I do get. He uses it all the time when he does cardio or working out, or if he is just hanging around, he does watch it. This one is $9.04 a month. And I have to double check when this one comes out. So that is $108.48. And I do keep tabs with him of hey, are you still using this? Just in case there's ever a time we might be able to cancel it. But I definitely think he finds a lot of value in it, so I think it's worth it. And I believe this one comes out on the 30th. So I'm just going to put that. It does come out around the end of the month. So these are the only subscriptions that I have currently. Now, I was paying for Patreon, and I'm not going to write this here, but I was paying for Patreon for a podcast for the TV show The Middle. Two of the actors from The Middle they started a podcast called Middling, and that is my all-time favorite show, The Middle. I've watched it so many times. I love it so much. So I did subscribe to their Patreon so I could see the videos and the extended video and do the live watches, which I have enjoyed. I did end up canceling it for this next month. I have it through January 5th, I think. And I'm debating on if I will renew it this month or if I maybe want to subscribe to something else. So I'm kind of decided in my mind that Patreon subscription was $12 a month. So that's kind of my budget for subscribing to things. So if there's some other kind of service or other content creator that I want to subscribe to, which I generally don't do, I've never done Patreon except for this, and maybe I will just renew for another month of the Patreon, but I'm kind of just setting my cap at $12 for that, but I'm not going to write it here because it might not be something that I regularly have anymore. So that is it for memberships and subscriptions. Actually, I guess my gym membership counts, right? I feel like that's a membership. So I do go to an F45 gym. This comes out on the 15th. And I don't know if I should put what it is. I know it's not that secret, but it does vary based on location, and I do have like a special rate with them. So I'm not going to put it here on camera. I will go ahead and do it off camera, but it's definitely not cheap, but it is something that I had started before we got married, and I had never been so consistent with something. I have fallen off a bit lately just because life has been really chaotic with a new job and everything. But I absolutely loved it. I like that I can just show up. I know I'm going to do the workout that's shown to me. I don't have to wait for equipment because everybody's doing the whole workout. So I just find it very valuable. And your health is also very important. So I think exercise and things like that, you know, definitely are worth paying for. And for me as well, like I work from home, so it does get me out of the house. We do have a home gym, and our community has a small gym. So like I have other access to like, you know, weightlifting equipment. F45 does have like strength stuff as well, but I'm saying it is nice for like the socialization aspect just to be like around other people. So, you know, I do justify it for myself that way. Then I'm not sure if I'm going to use these pages, honestly. I might, but if I do, I'm just going to do them off camera, so I'm not going to do that here. Then this is another section that I'm really excited about is the overview. So I can do like, you know, the earned income, any additional income, and savings used, and have everything and like see how things track. There's nothing for me to set up now. I will need to come in and fill in the expense categories, which I did, you know, start practicing with my budget categories in November. So I think I have an idea, but I don't think I'm going to fill this part in just yet. We might jump back to it. Okay, so here's our budget category that I just kind of showed you the printout of. So these were the categories that I had in my trial run. So we had groceries, car, eating out, entertainment, household, pet, beauty, gift, miscellaneous, travel, and shopping. And then I did have two categories for like fixed bills and extra debt that I wasn't sure if I should include as a budget category, which maybe I should. I don't know. This is where it's kind of tricky for me because of the way I budget things. Like, for example, my fixed bills in my actual like paycheck budget, I just budget a lump sum of money that I keep in a specific account for household bills. And then I keep a track, you know, I keep track on like this check register app, basically just keeps track of everything. And when I do pay the actual bills, I put the exact amounts. So like I could track that here, but I don't know. I don't know if I should. Okay, let me think on that. Let's go ahead and start filling in the ones I know for sure I'm going to do. So we have grocery. I feel like this is self-explanatory, but I'm going to put the description here. Purchases of food at grocery stores. Next, car. This one was a little tricky for me when I was doing like the trial run in November because gas is part of like my variable expenses every paycheck. Like I budget myself a lump sum of money to go towards groceries, gas, eating out, entertainment, miscellaneous. But I do feel like it kind of goes in the car category. So I guess that's where I'm going to put it. I'm just going to put it with car and then, you know, keep tabs on it separately, which is kind of what I did in the trial run. So that would be gas, you know, car washes I do get from time to time, car maintenance, and my registration, which is annual. That would also be related to car. Now, I could also do my car insurance under car, but I think if I'm going to do a fixed bill category, I would leave that there because even though it's related to the car, I feel like it's more related to like fixed bills. I don't know, this is so tricky. Okay, next is eating out. Now, my plan for 2025, and my husband is on board as well, is if you watched my November budget videos, like the check-ins, I spent a ton in like takeout because like I mentioned, things were just really crazy with me starting a new job. I was working a lot and I just did not have the energy to like meal prep and things like that. And honestly, eating out, like takeout, is one of our trouble categories, I would say, and is one of the drivers to doing this. So in 2025, one of the things that I said was that if we are buying food out, we need to go out to do it. We're not doing takeout. If we're, no like quick food like Chipotle and things like that, obviously I'm sure at some point in 2025 that may happen. But I really just want, like, if we're gonna go out to eat, it needs to be an activity. So I'm almost wondering, like, how I'm gonna track it. Like, previously I would say going out to eat would be kind of under entertainment. But maybe I should leave any eating out under eating out, like even if we go out as like entertainment, and then have the entertainment category be like if we have tickets to things like going to a movie, going to a concert, things like that. I think that's what I'm going to do this time and categorize it that way. So I'm just going to say this is any food or beverage not grocery related. I will say I'm really happy that I did the trial run because I did learn through that process like how this might work, and I'm happy I didn't have to like ruin the book before I figured it out. And then we're going to say entertainment. Can't fit it there, so I'm just going to entertain with a dot. So I'm going to say dates, social activities. I'm just going to say like tickets, things like that, just kind of to give myself that mental reminder. Then we have household. So the way I think of this is like cleaning supplies, toilet paper, paper towels, any maintenance things we might have to do. So that's basically what this category is for. Some people might lump cleaning supplies and toiletries like under grocery, but I do want to keep those things separate because I do budget for those things separately. Like I mentioned, I have just a general like amount that I throw to household expenses, and anytime we do need cleaning supplies or toiletry items like that, it comes from my household fund. So that's why I don't consider it grocery like under the grocery umbrella, because I don't budget for grocery that way. Like it comes from a different area of my budget. So that is why I have it separated. Maintenance, okay. Then we have pet. We do have a dog, an English Bulldog at that. So vet is definitely something we spend money on each year. So that'd be vet, food, and grooming. Those are his main expenses. And under vet would obviously be like his heartworm medication, any vaccines. So that is that. And I do get him groomed. I try to go not once a month, but probably like every 6 weeks or so, because he will not let us do his nails. Like he would rather break a leg than let us do his nails. So he does get that done there. They're able to do it for him. And I also like to have him get like a good deep clean. I do give him regular baths at home in between, but it's nice when he can go and get like really, really well cleaned, better than I can do it. Next we have, I'm calling it beauty. So this is going to be anything like services, whether that be pedicures or if I get any other kind of services like facials and things like that. And then my hair appointments, which technically does fall under services, but I just wanted to specify. I do get my hair done 3 to 4 times a year, and that's something I won't give up. My hair has never been healthier and as long as it is since I've been regularly keeping up with my hair maintenance, so I'm sticking with it. Then we have a gift fund, which is covering like all gifts. So birthdays, Christmas, anniversaries, the miscellaneous holidays like, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all of those holidays that we seem to have once every month. So that is this category. So we're saying birthdays. And I don't know about you guys, but this Christmas season just kind of felt very lackluster. And I think everyone in my family, even my husband's family, which, is also my family, by law. We all just kind of are like over the gift aspect of everything, and it feels very transactional because we don't have any little kids in the family right now. My younger sister is the youngest like kid, and she's a teenager at this point. So we just feel like we need to like change things up in how we do things, but as you know, our society is like so ingrained in gift giving. So I don't know how we're going to navigate that, but that is the gift category. We're going to have it for now. Then we have miscellaneous, which is just non-recurring. I'm going to say like unplanned or non-recurring expenses. So we'll say unplanned expenses, non-recurring. So the way I'm thinking of this is like, I don't know, honestly, because I feel like everything could be categorized in a certain way. Like if I pick up something at the store that maybe I didn't need, that could maybe fall under shopping. But we'll see. I'm going to have the miscellaneous category just in case. Then I am going to have a travel category. As I said before, and I've said in many of my videos, traveling is like my hobby, so that is something that I do spend a decent amount of money towards, and I want it to be a specific category. So this is going to be purchases related to travels. So that's like flights, hotels, transit, and then all expenses pertaining to a trip. So I'm not going to try to do like, oh, this amount was eating out, this amount was activities, like whatever I spent for that trip while we're on that trip, it's just getting lumped into travel. So I just know that I would get so overwhelmed if I was trying to go through my credit card after a trip to be like, oh, what was this? What was that? What was this? Like, it doesn't need to be categorized that way because this is coming from a separate area in my budget anyway. So, like, I will have a specific travel fund, so it wouldn't make sense to do all the eating out under eating out, if that makes sense. It at least makes sense in my mind. Then I'm doing a shopping category. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to have a category that I can throw basically like non-essential or like kind of essentials. Like if I need to buy skincare or something, I feel like I would put that under shopping versus beauty. I don't know. I might think about that, but I basically, like I think I said earlier in the video, I have a specific shopping fund basically that I just throw a little bit of money into every paycheck. If I, sell things, I put that in the shopping fund. So that way I have like a cushion. So if something comes up and I'm like, oh no, like I really need shampoo or I really need face wash or oh, I saw this cute trinket that I want to buy or the stickers, for example, I have a specific fund that I can kind of like guilt-free shop from. Gift money I put in this fund. I just started this over the last couple of months of the year, and I really like having it. And something funny that I've actually noticed is that as I've watched that account like grow, it actually does make me not want to spend because I'm like, oh, I don't want it to go below a certain amount, or I don't, it's been fun to like watch it grow, and then it really does make me stop and think, do I need whatever it is that I'm about to buy? So I think that having this has been really good for me mentally versus just throwing a bunch of money into like a general savings, which I do kind of have like a general savings, which is where I put like short-term goal type money into, like for travel mostly. But I don't know. I think having this fund, and like I said, it's also like a guilt-free spend, right? So like if there's something I really want, or maybe it's I make an impulse purchase and it doesn't end up being that great, at least it came from a dedicated budget for that versus like going into credit card debt or tapping into other categories to do it. So that's my long-winded spiel about this category. So I'm just calling this like purchases related to general shopping. Okay, and then let me look back. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do the fixed bills and the extra debt. So we'll say insurance, car payment. I know that's technically a debt, but I'm counting it as a fixed bill. Subscriptions. And then I'll just put like household bills. That's pretty much, I guess I could say, subscriptions. I'll put gym here. That's a membership technically. So I'll do that, and then should I do extra debt? I guess so. At least for now while I have this. So this is just going to be additional car payments. If the interest rates come down, I would actually love to like refinance my loan. I know that's not always the best, but I did check recently and it was like not really a savings at all, so it wasn't worth it. But I am going to keep tabs on that, and then if I can refinance it to either like a shorter loan length with like the same payment, or I don't know, like hopefully I'll be able to, hopefully rates come down a little bit, or I'll just be able to continue to throw extra money at it. So that is all my categories. Now, the only problem is that I don't know like if I have a good number of colors here, because like these two are technically different, but they look exactly the same. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. Okay, there's 13 here. So we'll do fixed bills in gray, because that's boring. And now, as I was doing this, I was thinking like, oh, should savings have its own thing? But I don't think so. If anything, I will have it written, but I won't do like a specific color for it. So I'm just going to put all this away. Okay, so now we can move on to, I think, the fun part of getting January set up. Okay, so you also have this notes page, which I think is nice. And let me flip to the back here and actually grab the tab stickers. So I think I'll put all of those on now as well. Okay, all the stickers are on now, so I'm happy to have that. Now we can really get to the fun part with the stickers. So, okay, so she does have the stickers labeled, like this one has to go on the left and this one goes on the right. And I believe she had a little note somewhere in the pack basically saying that this is just slightly shorter than this, and that's why you have to follow the left and right thing. So, let's start. Let's see how this lines up. So that's what that looks like. Let's do the date headers. Now, as a calendar, I always do Sunday start, but it's funny, like my weekly planning in my Erin Condren, I prefer that the weeks are a Monday start. But when I think of a calendar, I just think of Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's how a traditional calendar is. She does also give you these, like if you want to cover up anything, which I'm not going to. It doesn't bother me, you know, that there's lines on the other days. So what I will do like off camera when I actually go to set up my budget is I think I will go ahead and use these to like, mark all the bills and things like that. And maybe since I have so many of these, like I can actually do like each category for each week and have it like, I don't know. One girl that I watch on YouTube, her name is Jennifer. Her channel is Life in Envelopes. She uses like bill stickers like this, and she puts down like what she spent. So like if she bought groceries, she puts it. So maybe since I do have so many of these included with the kit, I can do that as well. So I'll have to think on that. And let me add the January sticker. Do I want to do one on each side in the center? Yeah, let's do that this month. Okay. Cute. I actually think that looks, I'm actually really happy that I did go ahead and get the stickers, and I actually kind of like this more than I thought as well. So I think that looks really adorable, and I love like the New Year's like party theme. So I'm really excited about that. Let me actually just show you the other ones I bought. So this one's gonna be February. I thought this was so cute. Then I think I'm doing this one for March. Then I think I was going to do this one for April. I know she has August and September, but I can use the April stickers out of there. May. I love this one in June. I like love the desert and the western part of the United States. Like, oh, I love this one. So June. And then I obviously am in the United States, so of course this July kit with the like patriotic. And she also has May because that's when Memorial Day is. So you have both options, but I think of like this as 4th of July. So I'm really excited about that. Then I think the last thing I'll just show on camera here is the meal plan. Let's see how we could set this up to be a little bit cute. So I could do like a strip of the washi and then just write in the dates maybe. Or like the days of the week, I should say. Let's see. So it doesn't fit exact. Let me see. That actually looks cute. Okay. And then I can actually use some of these throughout the planner actually. So we could put January. I can also put January up here. Might as well use these since I have them. I probably won't put them on the expense trackers, or actually I think I will. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one full like monthly budget and then also do each paycheck just so that I can kind of see the month as a whole. I know it seems a little redundant because I do budget based on paycheck, but I have the pages, and it also is good because if there's a month that there's something going on that I need, to pull money from somewhere, I can have that full month view. And then I think what I'm going to do for like my expense check-in is I'm going to have one that I keep like my private stuff on. So like all the fixed bills and stuff like that I don't want to share, I'll just keep on one. And then each week we'll do a check-in on all the other spending. So that is what I'm going to be sharing. So the next time you see this book, we should be doing our first week of January check-in. For the setting up my budget, I'm actually considering my December 31st paycheck as my first January paycheck. So technically, the main reason I'm doing that is because my December 31st paycheck is covering bills for the first couple of weeks of January. And then my end of January paycheck on January 31st, that's going to cover February. So basically, even though that money is technically from 2024, at the end of 2025, the same thing is going to happen. So my December 31st, 2025 will cover January 2026. So at the end of the day, it's still only going to be 24 paychecks that are tracked, for like the yearly overview stuff. But that's just kind of how I'm working through it. So I think, yeah, so that is really it for the setup. This video is super long and I hope that you enjoyed it. But I am going to go ahead and off camera fill all my numbers in. I'm really excited to actually finally be starting this, and I'm excited to be tracking. So I'm just really excited, and I hope that you like the stickers. And if you do, definitely check out her shop. I think theirs are very cute and I just love them. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you go. If you want to see more of this journey, let me know. Are you excited for 2025? What is a financial goal or just a general goal that you have? I feel like the beginning of the new year, it's always fun to, set intention and have ambitions for the year ahead. So I would love to chat with you about your plans for 2025. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.